Transformers, Autobots, roll out!
Yo, RC is gorgeous. This is an amazing job Takara Tomy did here. So congratulations, guys. This is the best RC. I find it a great balance between the G1 cartoon accuracy and it being a transforming robot and also having more of a female anatomical update, something that can be done and refined versus when it was first introduced in the 80s. And you got to understand, she was the first Transformer female that rose to prominence. There were some in the original G1 cartoon, but after her appearance in the movie, she really rose to prominence. She's an awesome character. She's smart, she's, you know, super combat capable, but still kind and caring and compassionate and empathetic. So all in all, a wonderfully balanced hero or heroine in this case. And that's why she's one of my favorite characters. So I want to quickly say that in addressing the way that her mold and her model looks, her appearance, again, the balance between the curves to her body and the chest, which I'll do a comparison a little bit later on with the Earthrise RC, but the chest is anatomically correct. I mean, it's like all other RCs, the main bust portion is aligned under the shoulders and it comes actually straight out, kind of like a combat vest slash like a female chest all in one. The only caveat is the collar. It is a little bit too long, so that hinge portion, if that was painted pink, it would look perfect. I mean, obviously people still want to see slightly more of an angular mold, but again, I'm totally fine with this. The waist and hip area is another point where they've took some liberties. As you can see here, the pink waist portion is a little bit narrower and thinner compared to her other counterpart. And here quickly, I'm just showing you the guns, by the way. Mine had a little bit of a spruce mark on it. But going back to the waist, the G1 cartoon has it wider, thicker, and flatter. But again, giving her that kind of like female curve in the belly and then having it being a little bit narrower, the waistband, I think it's still very classy. So good job, Takara. It's definitely not extreme like some other female Transformers that are out there or accessories that are, quite not good, we'll say. So here, look at the detail in the car mode. Look at those gauges with that neon green highlight. This is an amazing amount of detail that they did to the interior, and I'm all for it. And it's also interesting that it's on the left-hand side, right? I like how they have it kind of westernized or Americanized, the steering wheel, because Japan, right? The vehicles are all on the right-hand side. Again, this is a fantastic job. This looks like it, the car and the model, they just jump right out of the cartoon. It looks like I have an actual little mini robot car, little transforming robot that, could almost be alive with AI, right? And be sentient. So I'm going to adjust this little front piece here. But again, this transformation too is, I want to say, moderate in difficulty, but it is a joy. Things tab in easily. It's not overly complex. You do kind of have to take your time with it as you learn and get, the basic routine down, but it is very enjoyable. And, it feels like it, captures the feel of RC, how she would transform before your eyes. My only critique comes from the rear. So the taillights and the back end, I wish they added a lower rear spoiler or another piece to kind of cover up the upper thighs because you can still see those. But the side profile, excellent. But even then you can see how it kind of slightly rises up. So if they just folded down another piece, or because there's two tabs there, interestingly enough, they could have added another part that you clip on to kind of like create an air dam or something. And here she is looking all endearing, wondering, why is there so much hate and controversy over me? But, she does come with some different face sculpts. And, her articulation and her posability too is great. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and throw her in just like one quick action pose. But, I like the included accessories for sure. And you can see here the knee joints kind of bending and everything feels good. It's not too stiff. It's definitely not loose. And there's great articulation in the thumbs there, the fist, the fingers, everything looks great. The elbows, the shoulders. And I do like the backpack. I think it's great. It's not overdone. I mean, I know people also complain that it could be more compact, quote unquote, G1 accurate. But the most important things are those two portions that stick up on either side of her head with the gap. I'm cool with them being backpack transformers. You know, they're soldiers, there's warriors. You know, kind of emulates that feel of bringing gear into battle and wearing it on your back. And they do have clip-in points here for her sniper rifle. She also has a holster that goes in her thigh. So with a little gray pistol, there's a notch that can also clip in with a lot of these transformers into her palm, as you can see. It is a little bit difficult to get in perfectly right away, but it does slide in there. When I transform it here, I'm showing, I like to keep the rear taillights down, actually. You're supposed to fold them in, you pivot them in and fold them in, but I think it looks cleaner like a jetpack. And here is Happy Meal RC, or technically Earthrise RC. But this toy does remind me of that. I feel like I would get this as like some kind of cheap promotional mini transformer. I mean, look at that. She just literally kind of bends and folds underneath. I did the transformation wrong. Her waist is supposed to be the other way around because that peg is supposed to, that hole that they kind of put there should be pegged into the shell itself. I also keep her pistol there because, she has that notch area. But I mean, I don't understand how this one flew by. I mean, is all the wonderful things, Takara does, they're definitely not perfect. And I don't really like to fault them a lot, but this is the one transformer I have to say that, like, I don't understand how this got out of the drawing board, for sure. But, it looks decent. I mean, compared to the previous RCs, this has like a nice clean appearance. I mean, the other older ones probably have some other pros and cons. And here I'm showing like the chest sculpt. You see how it's still, the main portion of the bust is proportionate to like the shoulder and the forearm. This is the way it is across all RCs, but it's just that this one actually just protrudes further. So it doesn't actually sag at all. It goes straight out. It's just the illusion of the neck piece. But again, this is a great figure. I chose this over the Fans Toys Rouge because that one kind of looked like a skinny pink stick, and it kind of looked more like boyish or androgynous, which, RC, again, to me, it has to really scream female Autobot, and the feet, by the way, on this Earthrise are just like, I don't understand what they did too with the models here, because the Hot Rod, I'll go into that a little bit, is similar, but they really messed up her feet. She just has skiing feet. Like she's going to go out to the Swiss Alps and, go ahead and hit some of those mountain trails, those downhill ski mountain trails. But regardless, it's still both cool figures to have. I like the posability of the smaller one. So again, not to be harsh with Fans Toys, it's still a great mold and transformation in its own right. However, for me, I am 100% with Takara Tomi's masterpiece RC. So there you guys go. In the comments below, please let me know your thoughts. Is she one of your favorite characters? Which one did you go with? Maybe you have multiple RCs. I mean, that's never a bad thing too, right? Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in the next one. More Transformers to come. In the meantime, like and subscribe.